My parents own a multi-million-dollar waste management company, and I've been working as the lowest guy on the crew without telling anyone who I am. I'm 22 and graduated from college a few months ago. While my classmates were polishing resumes and stressing over interviews, my parents sat me down and made it clear. I wouldn't be job hunting. I'd be working for them. They run a massive waste management company, citywide contracts, a fleet of trucks, recycling centers, the whole deal. It's their legacy and they want me to take over someday. But they also made it clear that I wouldn't be jumping into some cushy office role with a fancy title. If I was going to lead the company, I had to understand it from the ground up. Fair enough. I actually respected that, so I started at the very bottom. One day, I was on a truck hauling trash bins in the rain. The next, I was elbow deep in recyclables at the sorting center. I never told anyone who I was. I wore the same uniform, followed the same schedule, and showed up like every other new guy. I wanted real experience, no special treatment, no shortcuts. At first, it was fine, humbling even. I started to respect the people who do this every day in ways I couldn't before. They're tough. They work hard. But after a while, the vibe started to shift. I was doing more and more of the grunt work while others kicked back. I was told to straighten out the bins, clean up after others, and do the new guy stuff constantly. I didn't complain. I kept my head down. I figured it was part of paying my dues. But then came the day that broke me. It was raining hard and we were already short-staffed. I barely slept the night before, showed up exhausted, and got drenched within the first hour. My clothes were soaked. I was cold and running on fumes. Still, I pushed through most of the shift until one of the senior guys, Ron, decided he was done. He dumped the rest of his tasks on me and said, "You're the new guy. You handle it. I gotta leave early." I snapped. Politely but firmly, I told him no. I wasn't doing his work. I was done letting people pile things on me just because they outranked me. He stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Then, with a smirk, he said, "Careful. Management might not like it if I start talking about your attitude." I looked him dead in the eye and said, "Then let's go to management right now." He blinked, didn't say another word, just walked off. That was the first time I'd ever stood up for myself like that at work. I didn't play the "I'm the owner's son" card. I still haven't. But I'm starting to realize that being the boss's kid doesn't mean I have to accept being walked over just to prove I'm humble. I'm here to learn, not to be everyone's personal doormat. By the end of the year, everything changed. Not because I revealed who I was, because people finally started seeing me differently. A few weeks after the incident with Ron, one of the supervisors pulled me aside during lunch. I honestly thought I was in trouble. Instead, he handed me a coffee and said, "You know, most new guys quit after 2 weeks. You've lasted months." That stuck with me. After that day, I stopped acting like I had to suffer silently to earn respect. I still worked hard, but I started speaking up when something wasn't fair, calmly and professionally. Surprisingly, people listened. Then winter came, and the company held its annual employee appreciation event. Hundreds of workers showed up, drivers, sorters, mechanics, office staff, everyone. I was sitting in the back with my crew, still just the new guy. Then my dad stepped onto the stage. He gave the usual speech about hard work and loyalty. But near the end, he smiled and said, "There's one employee I want to recognize tonight. Someone who spent the last year learning this company from the ground up. Someone who worked in the rain, cleaned trucks, sorted recycling, and rode routes at 5 a.m. without asking for special treatment." People started looking around. Then he said my name. The room went dead silent. You could literally hear forks hit plates. Ron looked like he'd seen a ghost. My mom stepped up beside my dad and added, "We didn't want our son to inherit this business without understanding the people who keep it running. And now we know he's earned that right." I expected everyone to hate me after that. Instead, something unexpected happened. The guys I worked with started clapping, one by one at first. Then the whole room joined in. Not because I was the owner's son, but because they knew I had done the work beside them.